Hey everyone, this is Dusty Monkey. Today we're going to talk about Shards Online and a good update for that. On Saturday the 4th of June, there was the June Roundtable with Derek Brickman, aka Supreme CEO of Citadel Studios and project lead of Shards Online, to talk about what's, well, basically just a simple update. But it wasn't just a simple update, was it? First of all, he announced that on Tuesday, the 7th of June, there will be the beginning of their Steam Greenlight campaign. Yes, you will be able to go on Steam Greenlight and vote for Shards Online to get greenlit and then become a game on Steam, which is a major step forward for Shards Online. Being on Steam gives them much bigger base for people to find them, a much more wider audience. So what I'm going to ask of you is, as soon as that's live, please go on and vote for it. Upvote it. Even if your intention isn't necessarily to play it, although I hope you will, please vote for Shards Online on Steam Greenlight. I will on Tuesday put the link in the description down below. This video will be obviously a bit early, but please do consider voting for Shards Online on Steam Greenlight. The other thing he showed us was, I'm going to whisper this, 20 seconds of the new trailer. It was about 20 seconds, and it shows the beginning of the new trailer that's being worked on, but the full one will be available from Tuesday along with the Steam Greenlight campaign. So if you want to see that, watch. You'll see it now.
I don't think there's any sound. Is there sound play?
We were created to challenge the gods. A challenge that shattered our world and separated us. That day, magic.
And there you have it.
What did you think? It gives me chills, to be honest. I just love it. Something else, he was showing us some of the art that's going on, which has been designed by Tiffany, one of their world artists and obviously asset artists. So check it out via the man himself.
Okay. One of the things she's working on is the in-game maps, right? So we only have one for Celador. So we're going to get the Catacombs maps in there. They're going to be hard to get because we don't want you to just instantly know where everything is. So you really won't be able to obtain one of these maps until you've pretty much been through the dungeon. But see, there's a version of the map for each of the configurations. And actually, it's really fun to look at this and see how different the different configurations of the dungeon are. So this is the one that has lots of portals to teleport from room to room. It's pretty cool.
They're going to be linked. You're going to have 5 and 5.
Yeah, we've decided that the configurations with level 1 and 2 will be the same. So like, if level 1 is in configuration 1, level 2 will always be in configuration 1. It helps a lot with drawing out the maps and stuff. So it'll be great once we have grouping in. You'll be able to see little dots on the map to see where your group mates are. It'll be a lot easier to meet up with people. Let's see. Food. So this stuff is kind of coming along. I think we might have spoiled the fact that we're getting a pig in the game. But yeah, so some new assets for just stuff out on the tables, and actually some of this stuff is being broken out to be used for the cooking system, like the bread and things.
You know what I love?
So. What do we got here? We got some cool decorations, nice little table, chairs, and a big chest thing. This is the Outlands map, so finally having an actual in-game map for that as well. You can see the dragon's nest, so we're moving the dragon into this area here. Helps you get a concept of the scale for this map too. It's pretty good size. I think that's it for that. Almost forgot to show that. I don't know why that was all the way at the end of my list. The plate of ham. So,
Other things he talked about, well, there was changes to the combat. We said it wasn't extreme changes, just some minor updates to make it more robust. We won't see any major differences. He said it's just some lines in the code which fiddled around with the system. They have been continuing their work with clusters, and he showed us some of the a part of the admin kind of interface and how that cluster servers might work. I'll let him describe it more because it's too complicated for my brain, and I'll let me know what you think.
Here. You're here, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
What do you think about the very early version of the interface?
I think it works well.
It's a good starting point, right?
It's a very good starting point. I had a very funny problem because I was looking for a configuration error in my file, and it was already on the web interface. We couldn't make female characters. And then I remembered, oh damn, this is in the web interface. I was debugging for 2 hours until I found out. So it was crazy. It's working very well, and it's pretty stable, I must say. It's pretty stable.
Okay, so the way this works, I'll be really quick about this. Actually, for admins, there's a really short tutorial video on how to get a cluster set up. So I don't really need to go into the details, but the idea is, once you get one of these from us, you can connect regions into it, and you can actually connect as many regions as you want, and you don't have to be the only one who connects regions. So in the access list right here, I have myself set up as a region admin, but I can add Yorlik, right? So if I added another entry here, I put in his user ID, whatever it is, and I typed Yorlik as his name, and I said he's a region admin as well, and I hit save. He'll be able to connect his regions into my cluster. All he needs is this right here, this ID. So this is your ID that is safe to give out. It's not used for authentication. It's kind of like your username. And so if Yorlik has this, he can set his regions to connect into my cluster, and they just magically work. It just works. The starting region, which is set in the config right here, this is where new characters will go. It also, if a region happens to be not connected to the cluster and your character was logged out there, he'll end up in the starting region. So our limbo is set up in a way where if you've already been through the tutorial, you can just like walk right out the portal.
You know what's extremely cool with this thing is you could have something like guest events between shards, like connect a shard for an event, and then the whole population of one shard could move to what the other guys have built and then go back.
Well,
for a weekend or so.
The tricky part about it would be the character database is central, right? So we'd have to have some way to let you merge your characters over. Looks like Dan's here. Say hi, everybody.
What's going on?
Yeah, it would be an interesting way to, if you could somehow have like a common character database between two clusters, then you'd be able to do that. We don't have support for that right now, but okay. So here's your logs and everything. So yeah, it works. And the first feature that we need to add, and Yorlik knows this, is a way to automatically restart the cluster when it crashes. So Dusty's asking a question. Several people, each with a shard, could connect to each other's shards through that code. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So the cluster is just a place where shards come together, right? Where regions come together. So the characters are stored on the cluster. So if you take a region that was connected to some other cluster and then connect it into somebody else's, you're not going to have your characters because the characters are stored in the central, cluster server. So it's really meant to be used for like, if 5 guys want to get together and make a really big cluster, each one of them has the ability to run like 5 regions, right? They can have a 25 region cluster using the system. There's really no limit to it. And also, you only, there was this perception early on that you needed to have a copy of the game for every region that you're going to run, and that's not the case. Like, how many regions are you running right now, Yorlik, on your server?
At the moment I'm running 3 or 4 regions. I'm slowly connecting them.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So Yorlik's already got 3 or 4 running, and I actually really haven't pushed it too far. But you can run. You can have 5 computers running regions, and each one of them running 3 or 4 regions. I mean, you can get a pretty big size server. One of the things Yorlik is planning on doing is running multiple copies of Outlands to get kind of like a lot of just open space.
Yeah. We'll make a huge wilderness.
And you're also going to string catacomb servers together.
Yes. What my machine can pull off.
Just kind of like prototype of a way to launch regions very easily. So each one of these is a region that can run on this machine. And so you can set which ones you want to run on any given machine. It's loading your configuration file. And because each region actually runs on its own process. And so what this allows you to do is easily see the log output for each of your servers. I know it's kind of technical. If you're not into admin stuff, it's probably really boring.
So I hope that made sense to some people who are into coding and all these kind of things. It's not something I'm very good at. What I will say is I'm not going to spoil the whole hour-long community roundtable by showing you all the clips. there was a lot more in there, including list view backpacks, things about combat, there was things about other systems they're putting in, and a bit more about the trailer and the building of that. So what I would suggest is I'll leave the description to the Twitch stream recording in the description. Did I say that twice? I'll leave a link in the description to the Twitch stream, where you can view the whole thing in its entirety. It's just over an hour long. I just wanted to do a quick update of all the major things, and just remember, Greenlight Tuesday. That is when they're going live for trying to get the green light. I will be making sure and tweet and Facebook and shout about Shards Online as much as possible, and I hope everyone out there will help me. Because if anyone deserves this, it's Supreme and the team, and that rhymes. That's kind of weird. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit like if you like it. Leave a comment below if you've tried Shards, or if you're interested in trying Shards, let me know and I can try and get you a trial code. And as always, please subscribe and check out the other Shards videos. Bye everyone, bye! Thanks for watching everyone. If you enjoyed that video, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe.